Okay, so I just want to let you know before we begin that this is going to be recorded and it will upload in about 24 hours. So if you jumped on and we didn't get to your pile yet, which we'll go over, I'm going to post it in 24 hours and you'll be able to. However, every participant that is here live during this program, I'm not going to be able to go through and comment while you're here because I want to focus on the reading. But if you have any questions or if you want to post what it is that, you know, hey, I was here, I have to jump off. If you just post that, I'll make sure that you will get your spirit card because everyone who is here today will get their own personal spirit card aside from the reading. So first, if you don't know, I'm Tracy from Inspired Chi, and I do a lot of these insight opportunities on our YouTube channel. And when it's a fall equinox or a summer solstice, we usually do a live insight to kind of, you know, hang out and everything. Normally it's in person. This year it's virtual twice. This is the second virtual one. So if I mention anything about any of the specials that we have going on and you want more information, I will have that information in the box in the replay. But if you want that information prior to, then what you're going to do is just comment, you know, information on, you know, whatever. And then when I come back to it, coming back around to it in about an hour or so, I'll message you privately with the information you requested. Okay. So if you want to look up at the screen here, we have 3 pumpkins and 3 piles of cards. So I'm doing the third eye one up here as 1, the one with the double cats here as 2, and this, I'm not even sure really what that is. It kind of reminds me of like a holy saint medal, but that would be 3. And the reason, and not necessarily the reason, the way that I'm doing it differently today is I usually start with 1. But today I'm going to start with 3 and go 3, 2, 1. If this is the replay, it will be timestamped below and you'll be able to skip over to that. But before I start, I wanted to tell you guys about some exciting announcements that we have for Inspired Chi. One of them is I want to thank all my October hostesses who have booked me entirely for the month of October to help me get these online virtual parties really perfected. And I'm really excited about that. I'm really grateful and really excited to meet your friends and family and read for them and read for you again, as always. And we also have Agnes, who is going to, and I actually have it written here so I can read it correctly. So Agnes is going to be doing Akashic readings, an Akashic reading, mini reading special for October. There will be 10 slots available for this special price of 25. So Akashic record readings, whether simply curious about your past lives or seeking transformation, the Akashic records have something for you. Discover your soul's purpose, meet your spirit guides, heal old wounds, discover where your patterns, relationships, or skills are first developed and why, gain understanding of why you are drawn to certain people and places, release old fears or doubts, release your past life negative karmic choices that are impacting your current life, deepen your knowledge about your place in the universe, recognize and claim choices you create your best life with help from the Akashic records. So she is putting out 10 spots for that special so you can get 1 lifetime, check it out, 1 lifetime, 1 issue, and 1 follow-up question. I believe that is correct. If not, we will give you some more details, and that will also be posted on our website at inspiredchiradio.com after this upload. Okay, let's get started. So if you chose 3, I haven't even looked at these yet. I'm going to sage real quick. We are using a couple different decks today. I will also post them below if you are a tarot or oracle enthusiast. But I'm really excited because the tarot deck that I'm using today to mark the season, and it is a new deck of mine, is the Modern Witch Tarot, which is a lot of fun. And then we have the Chakra deck. We have a couple other specialty decks, one from a local artist, and I'll post all of those. But we drew a couple of cards from each to kind of get the energy and the message. Keep in mind this is a general reading, not the entire message may not resonate for you. It's possible that you may have a partial message within. If you've connected with your guides, taken a deep breath and chosen your pile, your pumpkin, then a lot of times our spirits and guides will put a message in specifically for you. And AJ and I say a lot, it's not ours to interpret, it's just ours to give the message. So what may be, you know, just something that I'm saying in passing may not necessarily mean something specific to me and how it goes across to you. It might be very meaningful to you. It might be a symbol or a secret inside joke that you have from a loved one who has crossed over, or just a message that you needed at the time. So take what's yours, leave the rest, and let's get started. 3 of Pentacles, Page of Wands, getting the Inner Child card, getting release. Dissipating energy. Solar plexus is a big concern here. The Swan, transformation, trusting the psychic gifts. Will, also related to the solar plexus, and embracing the moment. Okay. It looks like threes have been doing, I don't want to say that you've been slacking off, because you haven't been slacking off. The energy that I'm getting right here is that other people have been slacking off, and you've picked that up for some time and you're just pretty much sick of it. You know, you are very happy to work together with people, but you've been carrying the load and it's gotten very heavy. And there's been a lot of resentment building. This could be in love, it could be in work, and, you know, take however this resonates to you in this message. What you don't know is you have an exciting message coming in with the Page of Wands. Something is some type of either a child coming into your life, a younger person coming into your life with an opportunity, or a message that you can receive by mail, by email, by text message. But this is Wands energy, which is fire. It's exciting. It burns quickly and it ignites some passion. So what you've been holding on to and what you've been trying to do, I feel like it's really lost its luster. And I don't feel like it has much to do with you specifically as it has to do with the time that you're in. However, it's caused some side effects here in your solar plexus. So we have a lack of will and a lack of just really just giving a shit. I mean, I don't feel like you give a shit. Like, I feel like you used to care a lot, and I feel like it's gotten to the point where you're exhausted, you've been beaten down, you have not reaped the rewards, and it hasn't been fair. You haven't been treated fairly. You've been definitely carrying more of the load here. But it's time to release that, okay? The fact that we have the Page of Wands here with the inner child, there is a need to come back to the things that made you happy. If you're not doing enough of what made you happy, it's not going to balance the other things in our lives that are obligations that we actually can't get out of. Now, the things that we can get out of, they're asking you to release as well. Okay, some of you maybe, and I apologize if this is what you're going through, some of you may still be processing some grief. It could be new or old, but it's surrounding the death of a loved one, or even sometimes the death of a person that you used to be. Even though sometimes when we change and when the change is for the better, when you're in that uncertain time, you kind of long for that comfortable feeling of who you were. Unfortunately, when you go through life, I should actually, fortunately, when you go through life and you have changes that come into your life, you transform and you change, and you're not that person anymore. So embracing the person that you are and help co-creating that with the universe will be really important for you and your spirit to feel, you know, good about the direction that you're going in, and to get out of this, it seems like really just like a rut. And there's definitely an energy here in the solar plexus. This may be you, this may be somebody around you, but somebody who talks a lot about what they're going to do without actually taking action. Again, this could be you, it could be somebody else, but there's a lack of will here, okay? And until there's forward movement and action, it's just a lot of talk. So, you know, that motivation, that ambition, that confidence that needs to come back into the solar plexus to keep moving. I feel if this is regarding a person in your life that maybe you're a little bit too attached to, and maybe you need to distance yourself comfortably so that you can move on to your transformation. Or if it's you, it's just a message to release what's holding you back, that negativity. If people aren't working together and you need to make a move, make the move. Or at least make the intention known to the universe and take small steps. Because a lot of times if we take those small steps, the universe will help us out with people, places, and opportunity to help us with our transformation, which is your next part. So we have the Swan here, transformation, trusting psychic gifts. Okay, someone's not trusting their intuition, and that also has a lot to do with the solar plexus. So a lot of times the intuition, they say it's brought in through the third eye. However, when we talk about a gut feeling, that takes place right in your solar plexus. The place where you get excited and it's butterflies, or you get like nauseous, like you swallowed a rock if something really horrible is going to happen. That's kind of what is the main chakra that is suffering on you right now. If you're a Reiki healer, if you know somebody who is, or even if you're able to do some self-work on that solar plexus, that would be really helpful. Because right now you're in a time of transformation, and it's a blessing. I know it doesn't really feel like it at that time because you really can't see. You're kind of in the, let's say like the muck of it all, just the day-to-day. You're in the day-to-day. You're feeling very uninspired, and that's why that inner child and the Page of Wands coming in is going to bring some excitement. But don't just wait. Don't just wait for that message. Don't just wait for that younger person. Don't just wait for that energy to come in. Call it in. You can call it in by releasing the past, releasing who you were, releasing your grief, or at least allowing the grief to process instead of blocking it. This feels very blocked, and it kind of does. I mean, it may be new for some of you, but I have a stronger feeling that these are old wounds. These are old losses. Three of Pentacles upright is the ability to work together with someone. So it's not necessarily that you are uninspired or you are unable. It's just that you're not in the right environment. There's a saying, I don't know if it's Einstein, I don't know if it is Dr. Seuss, and I'm probably going to mangle it too, but it's like a fish will spend its whole life thinking it's stupid if its only way of merit is thinking it can't ride a bicycle. I totally know I mangled that, but you get the point, right? So if it's not for you, it's not for you. It doesn't mean there's anything necessarily wrong with you. Is that on the screen? It just means that you've outgrown your environment and it's time for a transformation. And if you stay there, it's going to become painful. Okay. It's going to go to the point where it's not just uninspired anymore. It's just going to like become very negative for you. And they're saying, embrace the moment. Embrace this day, this very moment. Think positively today and repel those negative thoughts. Try not to judge yourself or others. This may be harder than you think. What is actually happening is that you're changing your energy. Okay, which goes with the theme about this. And it really is a shift. It is a shift that is overdue. And it's a shift that you deserve to move forward and have that transformation and be in a better state of mind. Wake up with a purpose, wake up excited. Not just, I feel like this is very much of the energy of going through the motions, and I feel like it's been going on for too long. So maybe stop helping the people that aren't helping you back or giving that energy back, or maybe leave the environment where you're the one carrying the load and doing all of the work. And if you're going to do all of the work, you might as well just do it yourself. And if you're doing it yourself, then you might as well recast yourself into a new role in your life, or in the world, I should say, planet, universe. Okay, so that was 3, and it looks like you have some changes coming with the fall equinox, and it is a time of harvest. So if you have that hard work, you're going to start seeing that some of that come back, but not if you stay stuck. The universe likes action. The universe likes you to get moving and communicate with your guides. They're listening. They want to step in. They need permission. Doesn't matter if you're religious, spiritual, it doesn't matter. It's for everyone. Spirit is for everyone. Okay, we're going on to 2. So if you chose 2, for some reason, because it was the only pumpkin that had, I couldn't find any of them that had these stems. They all broke off. There's these 2 kitty cat charms that I put up in here. And it just really reminds me of the duality. Some of you may be Geminis, or there may be 2 sides, the light and dark, but that's what it was reminding me of. These 2 cats were reminding me of actually the twins in The Shining. How they're like coming down the hallway, but in a more positive way, not quite as scary. Okay, so 2s, you have some unexpected opportunity coming to your life, and it's going to be very disguised when it comes in. It's going to come in more as not necessarily like a tower moment, but more of a stressful situation. And it's going to illuminate some things about yourself that maybe you don't really like to look at or recognize, or some darker aspects of your behavior, because we all have that. So you are also getting the solar plexus card and the third eye card, but we're talking about a facade. Okay, almost like keeping up appearances, but not, your heart's really not in it. This feels to me more like a family situation. It could be a romantic situation, a situation with a child. It doesn't feel a work situation, but if that's how it resonates for you. We do have the Empress coming in, okay, which is the mother card, but also she is the creator. She is all of the queens put together. She's learned all of the lessons, and she creates and she births, and she also has a lot to do with the environment, Mother Nature. So that's a major card coming through. And also the Queen of Pentacles. And the Queen of Pentacles, I really like that card because that is a queen who can stand on her own. It doesn't make her lonely. It just makes her like being able to manifest in her physical reality the life that she wants and take care of herself. She doesn't have to depend on anybody. If she wants to, that's different. But there's not a need to do that. It's feeling safe, getting to a point where you feel pretty safe in your measure of security. That could be financial, that could be within your family or relationship, like I said. However, something unexpected is coming around here. And it's going to be, don't feel like it's going to be negative, but you're dealing with vanity here. Okay. So there's a situation, and if it hasn't happened yet, that's going to be coming up, that you're living completely in your ego here. So you're missing the big picture. So if you're coming from spirit and you're coming from your soul and your heart, you'll be able to recognize when you can be in a compassionate relationship, and when you can be compassionate to yourself for, you know, maybe some flaws that you have. And it doesn't matter how they get, it's your responsibility once. Yep, I'm just going to leave them. It is your responsibility to, as an adult, if you have a shadow part of your behavior that interferes in your life or maybe shows up too much, because it all happens once in a while. You know, recently I've gone through something. I always say I have a nervous breakdown in September, back to school and birthdays and all of it. It just culminates for me in September, and I'm very susceptible to other energies. So that's just something I know about myself. It's when my shadow self comes out, and there are things that I have to be aware of and watch. Isn't necessarily bad. It's just you need to be aware of that. Sorry about that. So there's a situation that's going to come up that is actually going to, in the long run, bring you a lot of joy. But you have to look at yourself honestly, because when it comes to you in an unexpected way, the first thing you're going to do is become defensive and be coming from ego. And that's when that shadow energy is going to come in. So if you're honest with yourself about that and you do the work that you need to do to combat that, then it won't be a terrible journey, because you do have the unexpected coming in, the fake coming in, and this is a father and child energy, but take it how it resonates to you. And this is in a solar plexus. And you ask yourself, if you're living a situation where it doesn't feel right to you, it doesn't feel right to you from your heart, from your soul, there is a numbness that happens in that solar plexus. And it's really easy for us to ignore our own intuition in that way, because it's easier. Because sometimes it would just take a lot of energy, money, time to uproot ourselves, or you know, mess it up for anybody else, or do all of that. But ultimately, what's in your heart and your happiness, as long as you're compassionate for yourself and others, is the ultimate goal here. So whatever's going to come about for you, it is going to take a lot of strength, but it is going to bring you a lot of joy. Okay. So the message from Spirit card: strength. Strength comes from many sources. Staying strong brings confidence, conviction, and a balanced body, mind, and soul. Spirit has its own unique and beautiful way of replenishing your soul with strength on a continual basis. You're never really alone, as we're always with you. So having reached a measure of security as the Queen of Pentacles, you're going to be going into creation mode. And when you do that, you're going to have to take some good hard looks at yourself and your behavior and what around you is inauthentic, either from within or without, and be ready to make some changes and have the strength to do that. I do feel like these changes might actually come upon you on their own, because you do have the card of the unexpected. So if something does come up, please view it as an opportunity, because you do have the card of joy underlying. So sometimes when you're making room for the new in your life, when you're getting rid of that old stuff, it can get a little messy. It's like cleaning out a closet, right? Your whole room's a disaster. And then eventually, once you put it back together the way that you like it, it's a lot better. You feel good. So the twos are going through something like that. If it hasn't happened yet, it's going to, but really hang in there. It's for your best benefit. But be honest with yourself and stay out of ego. Think of it from spirit. There's a lot of things going on in the world right now where it's really hard to stay out of that I'm right, you're wrong mentality, especially when you feel very strong about your convictions in that way. But in this situation, I feel like your convictions are being buried, and I feel like you're just making nice. And I think that you need to look within to see if that's really the person, place, and situation that will feed your soul in the long run, and have the strength to make those changes if not. Okay? So that's the twos. That was a little bit deeper there, twos. Got some stuff going on this equinox. But the cool thing is we're heading into the winter solstice after this. So we can all kind of hibernate and work it out, right? And we're moving on to 3. If you're just joining, we're moving on to 1. If you're just joining, we did it differently this time. We did 3, 2, 1 instead of 1, 2, 3. And this will be available for replay in about 24 hours, and I will have those timestamps. So 4 of Wands, stability, the Hierophant, tradition, the Happy Diva. That's a good one. Ones are doing okay. Mysticism, complacency. There's a lot of complacency going on in this overall. Like everybody's had some element of it, whether you're 1, 2, or 3, of just this like a rut type of inertia stuff. Really needing to push past that and create, because the world is changing and you have the ability to change your own world. Like take advantage of it while it's happening. The King, male energy or male. I don't know. It might be a male because the Steve is very happy. Someone could have a new relationship coming in, or a relationship maturing to the next level. That may be for some of you, not all of you. New beginnings and release. So this is the second person to get released. I think 3s were released and 1s, okay? So this is all about what's releasing, what's no longer serving you, so you can bring in what will resonate with you and your soul and spirit now. This is a time of harvest. It's a time of your seeds. Some of them you planted recently, some of them you planted a long time ago, and starting to see those opportunities and synchronicities coming in and being able to recognize them when they come and move towards them. 4 of Wands talks about stability, okay? This could be a card of marriage. As a matter of fact, it is with the Hierophant, and we have this King. Some of you may be actually getting married because we have an interesting combination. If you're not getting married, maybe you met the person you're going to. I don't see divorce here. So it would be the actual opposite. But it's about finding happiness and having your own stability within, not wanting it from without, in the sense of without having built it first on your own, okay? And I think this was in one of the other ones that we did. I'm good on my own, but I would like the company. If the company is good company, otherwise I'll dine alone. So the Hierophant is a card of tradition, but it has to do with institutions, hospitals, schools. Some of you may be going back to school. That might be something on the agenda. I mean, it is fall. Not sure how it's working with the virtual. But there is a greater stability coming in for the 1s, okay? That's going to make you really happy. And being able to have someone around, whether it is a male or it is a more of a masculine energy, having someone that you can lean on and develop a partnership with, which is really exciting and it's really strong. This could be a business partnership, a romantic partnership, a partnership where it is making things easier for you. It's time to release the past and accept that you do deserve the good things that are coming into your life. You have the ability to block them. I don't know why you would, but sometimes we sabotage ourselves. So just guard against that and releasing past hurts and knowing that every situation is unique in itself. And if you're continuing to see those patterns emerge over and over again, you haven't learned the lesson, or you haven't figured out how to block yourself from that energy that keeps coming up. You know, when I took a test for pharmacy years ago, I thought I would be smart by pausing all of the math questions so I could go over them a little more carefully before I hit send. And really what that smart computer did was realize I was scared of math and sent me a bunch of math, okay? So while most people were doing their drugs and generics, which I had studied really hard for, I had a ton of math questions because I kept trying to avoid it. So get rid of that. You have some new beginnings coming. And it also talks about mysticism. So there may be, I mean, there is a general shift going on with the population right now. And if you are a light worker or if you are an intuitive, you're feeling that on a stronger level. It's kind of like flu-like symptoms. You might think you even have COVID and go get tested, you know, God forbid. But feeling very drained of your energy, feeling very tired is a lot of the signs of going through the shift. But also recognizing that when you come out of it, those synchronicities and those signs are around you. You might wake up with different abilities that you may have had before and not noticed or not paid attention to. If you've ever been walking down the street and then you notice a sign that's been there the whole time, but you've never gone that way. I think that just happened to a friend of mine, Michelle. It was her birthday and she had like a license plate she drove past every day that said mom. So it's those types of things. Start to look for them because your new beginning is available. You have reason to be happy. You have stability coming in, and that's going to give you the freedom to kind of venture out a little bit more, maybe in the mysticism, maybe in going back to school, trying something new. New beginnings. Everything in life is constantly vibrating and moving, and therefore continuously changing and evolving. Be aware that a new beginning is on the horizon. Have courage and faith, because right now, life is trying to nudge you forward and move you in a new direction. There's not a lot to say for the ones. I mean, it really looked like you're coming out of an energy of complacency, of being worried. This is in your root chakra, not feeling safe, not feeling secure, but that looks like it's about to end for you. So if you haven't felt that change come about, tune into your gifts, tune into your spirit guides. And if you don't know how to do that, start telling them to visit you in your dreams and start writing that down, because you do have an intuitive gift. It will get stronger and it will make your life better. And those new beginnings and that stability and being able to go towards something that maybe you couldn't, it wasn't within your reach before, will now be within your reach. So we're talking about this fall equinox, we're talking about the season. So it looks like it's going to be a very fruitful one for you. So congratulations, I think you have the best reading of the day. So if you're catching this on replay, you did do, there will be timestamps that you go to. If you're joining later, I have a couple specials at the beginning of the recording that I will go back. But if, right now, what you want to do is, if you're here, just type, whatever pile that you chose, whether it was the 1, the 2, or the 3 pumpkins, just put that there. If there's any other additional information that you want about the specials, also put that. And I'm going to go back now, and everybody who has done that, I'm going to send you personally. I think I have everybody on Facebook. If not, I'll send it to the email, a personal spirit card. So that's coming. That are these cards that are coming with a certain message directed at you specifically. So if you jumped on and this didn't resonate, or even if it did and you want the additional message, I thank you for your support and popping on today. I wish you a very happy fall equinox, and I ask you to join me. I think it's later on this week. We have a new moon, no, a full moon coming up, and you'll have another insight opportunity. It won't be live like this, but it will be available. So have a great equinox.